Okay, people, let's get done.
Good news, PlayStation 3 owners. You finally have something to spend your money on besides Heavenly Sword action figures and antidepressants. It's Killzone 2, a game that's enjoyed the most eagerly watched development since the Olsen twins. Since this first half of our review focuses on the campaign mode, we should probably explain what the hell's going on. The first Killzone was all about defending your world from the evil alien scum, the Helgast. In this installment, you're actually taking the fight to them on their home planet of, drumroll please, Helgon. I hear it's really nice this time of year.
Hey Garza, you look cold! I am cold!
Unfortunately, our intelligence isn't as good as it should be.
This is up!
And when we show up, our enemy fights back in unpredictable, dangerous ways. So basically, it's like the Iraq War, except this time, we're Space Marines. We are very happy to report that all the major problems of the first game have been fixed. The AI is much smarter, and your gun seems to have a convincing heft to it. There's an attention to detail here that puts Part 1 to shame. Also, we found ourselves liking new gameplay elements. Killzone 2 essentially limits you to carrying one major weapon at a time. Now that may sound like a Kirstie Alley-sized pain in the ass, but it actually forces you to try out new weapons and increases strategy. The graphics aren't an exact match of what was seen in earlier trailers, but believe us, we aren't complaining. Subtle hues, vivid textures, and a ton of purdy lighting effects combine to form one of the best-looking next-gen games, period. Campaign mode length lies in the standard 10-hour ballpark, plus some extra time if you insist on playing it over again on the hardest difficulty. And we're not sure if this counts as a complaint, but we have to point out that Killzone 2 should be a co-op experience. Since your AI squad mates often drop the ball,
That was close.
the game would be exponentially better with the ability to enjoy it alongside friends. All that, and we haven't even talked about multiplayer mode yet. We'll have our full report on that, plus our opinion of the game in hotly anticipated numerical format later on in the show. Bring your abacus.
There's no question that Killzone 2 is a solid campaign mode. What of the multiplayer, you ask? Can it possibly live up to the hype? Well, good news, Sony fanboys. The online component of Killzone 2 is actually better than the single-player adventure. Guerrilla Games stripped away the ability to grab cover, which forces you to get creative. Instead of flat environments, the maps manage to integrate plenty of vertical elements. They feature so many catwalks, ramps, and banisters, they'd make the art director of Space Mutiny jealous. The main mode of multiplayer is called Warzone, and it's essentially a fast-paced collection of different game types. Perfect for the jaded FPS gamer in all of us, this system keeps things moving and ensures that you won't get bored. You can also accumulate experience points, which is perfect for activating that desperate trigger inside yourself that wrong-headedly correlates repetitive hand motion with a sense of accomplishment. Oh, and also, you can use them to unlock character classes, which is rad. We like the ability to form a 4-person squad within your team, so you can voice chat with your closest pals and spawn at the location of your squad leader. It's nice touches like that that set this apart from other multiplayer experiences on the market. However, we did find that the control wasn't quite as tight as we hoped for. Compared to similar FPSs, the reaction time in Killzone 2 is very slightly slower. We gladly trade some of the flashy graphics for quicker controls. But we're willing to forgive it since the multiplayer and single-player modes combine like Voltron to create an incredible experience. Killzone 2 is a 5 out of 5.
It's time to get back into the zone. The Killzone. The Killzone series has always strived to be more than just another mindless action franchise, and its latest tour of duty is without question its finest hour.
Who nukes their own city?
Picking up right where Part 2 left off,
Copy, I got your back.
there's no rest for the weary in this adventure. There's tons of enemies to take out your frustrations on. And thanks to the revamped feel of the game, shooting them is faster and furiouser than ever before. The previously sluggish soldiers are now lean and mean killing machines. As a matter of fact, thanks to the tighter shooting mechanics, the PlayStation Move works amazingly well with Killzone 3. However, while gesture-based shooting is great with the Move, closer melee movements like the old OJ Slash are more difficult to pull off without a controller.
Tomorrow we launch the greatest military campaign in our history.
But what is this war for? The news story revolves around Sergeant Sev Sevchenko. He just wants war to end. I mean, don't we all?
Now you shut your trap and you listen to me!
There is political unrest now, and things are spiraling out of control in the ISA's desperate battle against the Helgast. Truth be told, for those of you that have played through Killzone 2, the beginning of the game will be very familiar, and an abundance of cinematics up front sort of slow down the proceedings.
We will tell our children of this day.
But once Killzone 3 gets into the groove and picks up the pace, the fun begins. There are lots of surprises here, and something is always around the corner. The online multiplayer has also benefited from a slew of upgrades. There's new missions, new weapons, new classes, and mechs. Yep, gotta have some mechs these days. However, the lack of online co-op was shockingly disappointing, and the local co-op is just lacking. We expected better. There's no reason for that.
Revenge!
But we'll overlook it because the overall feel of the game is better. More graceful, smooth, like the black and white Swan combined.
But that's because I'm not a jackass.
And the overall presentation is so good that the numerous plot holes didn't bother us that much. And there are more holes in this story than Tupac Shakur. Allegedly. So despite some faults, Killzone 3 is still worthy, more than worthy of PS3 owners' attention. Killzone 3 gets a 4
Covering fire!
out of 5.